Oh man, it's dizzy and I'm beat. It's really been a rough week. And as you can see, I am not out at the farm. So this fireside chat will be a bit different. I just didn't have time to do a fire today because they changed the forecast and it really messed me up. So I'm in my bedroom. But as I said, this week has really been rough. Probably maybe seeing a shadow off to the right, and that's because of the fuzzy little puppy dog. She's up on my bed. And I didn't make my bed this morning, otherwise I'd show you to you. Of course, son was up from Florida, and I'd hoped that he was going to be able to get some stuff done for us. Only problem is, we had a really wet week. It rained almost every day, or if it didn't rain, it was cloudy and damp feeling, so it made it rough to get anything done outside. Until today was the first day that I was able to get the field cleaned yesterday, but other than that, today was the first day that I was really able to work outside. Now, I might have been able to work outside another day, except for one problem, and that's my husband. I wouldn't even be able to make this video if he was home because he'd be wondering what I was doing, who I was talking to, yada yada yada. But on Wednesday night, I get dinner made and really good. Made a type of Jezebel sauce and had that with chicken thighs. I baked chicken thighs, we put the sauce on it, and had homemade green bean casserole, rice. It was a good dinner, but that's besides the point. I ate it, hubby didn't. Around 8:30 or so, maybe earlier, I don't remember now what time it was, he started throwing up. I did not play around. I called the doctor. Didn't even give him a chance to say whether or not he wanted me to call the doctor. And of course, the doctor wasn't in and he had to call me back. And I had a couple of anti-nausea pills from one time when I had needed them, and the doctor told me to go ahead and give him those. Problem with these pills was they were something you had to swallow. Would have made more sense if it had been something to dissolve under his tongue, because not even an hour later he threw it back up. And I told him if he needed me to let me know, and I eventually went to bed. Well, come the next morning, he's still throwing up. I went out to feed on Thursday when it was not even light out. It was dark when I got to the farm. It was late by the time I left, but I had everything all set up so that if needed be, somebody else could feed for me Thursday night. Get back home, call the doctor's office. They weren't in yet. They took a message and said they'd have him call me back. I never got a call back, so I finally called the doctor's office. I grabbed the doctor and told him what was going on, and the doctor told me to take him to the ER. Didn't give him a chance to argue about that. Took him to the ER. Right now, they are not allowing anybody in the ER when you bring somebody in. You're supposed to leave them. But he was so bad that they made an exception. They were not sure they could get all the information they needed from him. I had done the smart thing and grabbed all his medications before we left so that I was able to show him exactly what he was on. And of course, they ran all kinds of tests. They weren't able to get a urine sample until late in the day. And we thought it was just dark and foul smelling because of how dehydrated he was. Nope, he's apparently developed what's called a fistula, which is basically a tube from the bladder to the colon. Or I guess it would be vice versa. And with that tube there, he was getting fecal matter into the bladder. And of course, they didn't tell us that then. They thought that he just had a UTI, and since he couldn't keep anything down, the decision was to keep him. And it was later that he told me about the fistula. Well, the hospital was overcrowded. He spent the night in the emergency room. Once they decided to admit him, I went ahead and I left, went straight out to the farm and fed, and then went home. And it was crazy. Even in the hospital, they told me if I left, I wasn't allowed to come back in, but they didn't have any food that I could have, so they did let me out to go to the local convenience store and grab a sandwich and come back in. So hubby has been in the hospital now since Thursday. And you're not allowed visitors now until you've been in there for 72 hours, but it's 72 hours from when you get in the room, not from when you get to the hospital, which makes no sense. So I thought I was going to be able to visit him yesterday, but oh no, he hadn't been in the room 72 hours. Never mind that he was in the ER overnight. So I was able to get to see him for a little bit today. Don't know yet when he's going to be coming home. They had to stop the cancer treatment for now. I'm planning to call up the oncologist either tomorrow or Tuesday and find out what we're going to be doing now. Whether when he's supposed to go back on that, or if he goes back on it, or what. So that's hubby. And still can't go and visit Dad. Not sure when we're going to be able to go and visit him, but my sister did say that he is doing better. So that's good. Let's see. Didn't get a whole lot done at the farm this week. About the only thing I did do was I dug up some dock root. Now, if I had known the forecast that they were calling for earlier today, my schedule would have been a lot different. There's the puppy. Okay, yes. Okay. Yes, I love you too. She has to come over and see me and give me kisses. This morning, they were not really calling for anything for tomorrow. Maybe a couple flurries, that was it. And then they changed it. They're now saying 3 to 6 inches of snow. If they had been saying that earlier, I would have been doing my day a lot differently. We had no church today because Pastor was sick, as well as several other people. They made a decision to just cancel church for today. I spent as much time as I could once I got the forecast working on my chicken pen here. And I did shoot a video that'll be showing that possibly in the morning. But not only are they calling for 3 to 6 inches of snow tonight, maybe more, who knows, that could change. They're also calling for it to get super cold next week. I am planning to go out as soon as it gets light out and seeing if I can't get the last 3 posts in the ground that I need to get in. It shouldn't take me too long. When I got back from the farm today, I didn't have the posts here. I had to get them from the farm. I put them out on the back deck and I cut them to length. They are the posts that I need for my perches. So I'm going to try to get them in tomorrow. I won't be able to get the chicken wire in because the ground's going to be frozen. But I figure if I can't get the chicken wire in, nothing can dig underneath as well. So that's about where we are. Oh, the other thing that's going on is I'm having problems with the plumbing. Son and son-in-law replaced the pressure tank, and I've got water leaking down there. Not exactly sure where it's coming from. I haven't said anything to hubby. I've just been vacuuming it up. Did say something to both my son and my daughter, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. I also have a pipe that's leaking, and I wasn't able to get that to stop leaking, so if I'm not going to be using the water, I turn the water off. When hubby gets out of the hospital, we're definitely going to have to do something about the plumbing because I just can't be dealing with these constant leaks. But that's what's going on in my life. I'm now going to go and get a shower and relax so that I'm all set for tomorrow. So I hope you have a nice day, and I'll talk at you later.